This video contains subject matter that may be offensive and disturbing to some people. If you are the type to require a warning throughout a video or show, let this message serve as your warning. This channel discusses the harsh reality of true crime. If this warning is not sufficient for you, consider a different genre and unsubscribe from my channel immediately.
Hello, this is Gray Hughes. We've been covering the Madelyn Allen case out of Ephraim, Utah, the Snow College student who went missing on December 13th at 9:22 in the evening as she exits her dorm hall. She was staying in Snow Hall East and left the building at 9:22. Here is the surveillance footage of that moment. So when she's leaving, you can see definitely she's kind of apprehensive, kind of looks out first, then walks, looks like she might have clothing in a bag, and it looks like she's intentionally leaving to meet somebody. Okay? And this is the slow motion version coming up. It looks like she is intentionally leaving. She has got a jacket on. She's got her cell phone in her left hand, holding a bag, probably with clothing in it. Okay, so then it turns out that they were able to ping her phone in a town about 85 miles south, and the name of that town is Loa. L-O-A. Okay, so it's somewhere in this area right here. That's where her phone pinged. There were people on my show last night saying that, but there was no direct information from a news outlet saying that, but it turns out that they were correct. Okay, so that's where her phone was pinging from. We knew that she was safe last night, and this morning law enforcement came out and gave a press conference, and the family spoke and other people spoke, but I'm just going to play the portion where law enforcement speaks. Okay, so here is that press conference right here.
Thank you for being here. When we met with you on Thursday, we all hoped that we would be having another press conference with this type of outcome. We appreciate your support, and to the media, we especially appreciate your help in sharing Madelyn's picture and story. This has been helpful to increase the awareness and interest in this case. We are grateful to announce that Madelyn Allen has been found and reunited with her family. Our investigative team has spent countless hours following leads, utilizing investigative tools, interviewing others, and analyzing data. That focus, dedicated, selfless, hard work of multiple law enforcement officers paid off last night when Madelyn was located. Madelyn was taken to a nearby hospital for an examination, after which she was able to interact with her family. One person, Brent Brown, a 39-year-old male from Utah, has been taken into custody. I'll now take a few questions at this time.
Can you tell us more about this person who's been taken into custody and how he plays a role with Maddie?
So, we don't have a lot of information about him. We met him for the first time last night, and we don't know how extensive his relationship or her knowledge of him is thus far.
So was she taken against her will?
This is an ongoing investigation, and there's certain aspects that we're still digging into and trying to understand fully.
Did they appear to know each other before this?
That's something that, like I said to her question, we're still trying to figure out.
And when and where was Maddie found?
She was found in a house in Wayne County that was at the present time being occupied by Brent Brown.
And how did you guys go about locating her at that home?
So we found her through a lot of hard work, dedication, and digging into facts and leads that we discovered as we were investigating this case. And we did a fair amount of door knocking as well to help locate her.
Will there be any charges filed against this suspect?
Yes, sorry. He has been booked into jail and has been charged with obstruction of justice, but other charges are pending.
Okay, so when you watch this officer, you can tell, I didn't realize it when I was watching it because we didn't know the circumstances, but now that you watch it again, you can tell that he's pretty shaken by the information that they actually do have behind the scenes. And when he says that there's other charges that are going to be filed, he knows that there's going to be other charges filed. And the story behind it is absolutely crazy. ABC4 just put out an article, and we're going to go through that one right now. So just for background information, let's show you where she's coming out of on that dorm footage. When she's in the dorm, she exits that door right there, and looks like she's looking to her right. So she probably went this way to get a ride, or get into a car with somebody. I don't think she was just looking for a ride. I think she was going to meet somebody. She had a bag and it had clothing in it. Okay, so this is the location. It's in the small town of Ephraim, Utah, and she's a student at Snow College. Okay, now let's go to the article. Authorities announced Saturday, December 18th, that 19-year-old Snow College student Madelyn Allen was found alive. Allen reported missing on Wednesday, December 15th, after being last seen leaving her residence at 155 East College Avenue in Ephraim around 9:22 p.m. on December 13th. Many questions surrounded her disappearance, but police have released details to possibly answer some of those questions. According to police reports, Allen walked away from her apartment at 9:22 p.m. There's a still shot right there that we showed you on video just a few moments ago. And that was at 9:22 p.m. on December 13th. Someone who saw her said she looked like she was going out to meet someone. Video footage showed Allen wearing a skirt, a white coat she frequently wore, and flats. At around 7:20 a.m. the following day, on December 14th, a text message was sent from Allen's phone to one of her parents. She texted, "I love you," and that was sent to the parents. The text caused her parents to be concerned and head to Verizon to find out details on the location of the phone. Verizon notified the parents that the 7:20 a.m. text was sent from Loa, Utah. Loa is approximately 87 miles from Ephraim, where she was last seen. Her parents stated she knew no one in Loa and didn't have transportation to get there. Both her parents and roommates expressed concern that her appearance and behavior was abnormal. During the investigation, it was disclosed to law enforcement that Allen suffers from depression and anxiety. And, we see in one of these videos that we were playing yesterday, she goes through and explains her depression. And I think it's actually in this video right here.
My parents have always called me a fighter. I guess when you're born weighing 1.5 pounds, you know you are in for quite the battle. The path has not been easy. After a few surgeries and countless doctors and therapy appointments, I developed severe anxiety. I was anxious about everything: bugs, doctors, bees, dogs, leaving my parents, germs, new places, school, and so on. I tried to push through it. I found joy in dancing, baking, music, and traveling. Then junior high hit. That was really rough. And then I made a choice that changed my life forever. I decided to audition for the High School Musical. I prepared, but on the day of the audition, my anxiety took over. I sat on the floor, waiting my turn. I wanted to leave, but I pushed through the anxiety and went ahead with the audition, and I made it. I spent the next 3 years performing in musicals, plays, choir concerts. I even got a job and working through the last year of school. Now I am graduating from high school and still looking forward to going to college. I still deal with anxiety every day, but I remember I am a fighter.
Yeah, so she deals with anxiety every day. And look, this is some of her acting.
And I don't get it, because I'm the most popular girl in school. Y'all think I'm amazing. First off, I told Betsy Green that she had a really manly face, and she got mad at me. She said that I was rude. And then somebody walked by and said that Betsy's hair looked really good, and I was like, her? And she started crying just because I was asking any clarifying question.
She's a very talented actress, and I think that's an escape for her. So now let's get back to the article. Both of her parents and roommates expressed concern that her appearance and behavior was abnormal. And that was probably in looking at the video. During the investigation, it was disclosed to law enforcement that Allen suffers from depression and anxiety. Police obtained data that indicated that Allen's phone was in Loa at 12:06 a.m. and 7:20 a.m. on December 14th. There is no further data after 7:20 a.m. So 12:06, that would be about 2.5 hours to drive 85 miles. I don't know if that would take exactly that amount of time. I mean, if you were driving really slow, trying to avoid being pulled over, maybe that's how long it might take. And also depending on the roads, I guess we could go up in the air here, and this is that town. Yeah, I mean, it could actually just take that long because the roads aren't absolutely straight. I mean, you have to come down here, and maybe some of these roads are a little slower when you're driving on them. And it looks like all the way down into Loa, this little tiny town right here. And let's see. It was also reported that Allen used dating apps. Text messages recovered from her phone records contain conversations of a violent sexual nature. These conversations indicate that she may have been exposed to dangerous individuals with violent tendencies. On December 18th, investigators found in Allen's Verizon records more cell phone pings in Loa. The pings were similar to the pings on December 14th. A search of Loa was conducted thereafter. During the search, law enforcement arrived at 78 North Main Street. And 78 North Main Street in Loa is right here. Let's take a look at it. So it was in this house right here. As they approached the house, they observed through a basement window a person with light-colored hair and a small build in the basement of the house. As they knocked, this person ran out of sight. A 39-year-old male answered the door. The male stated that no one else was in the house. He also would not allow a consensual search of his home without the owner of the home, his parents' permission. The owner was contacted and consensual search granted. The man was identified as Brent Neil Brown. Officers quickly found a Snow College ID belonging to Allen in plain view. A gun was located in an open suitcase that contained clothes that appeared to belong to her as well. Brown was detained by officers after finding the Snow College ID. He was in possession of 3 knives upon officers searching him. Officers located Allen alive in what is described as a coal storage area of the residence. She was found not wearing any clothes and completely covered in coal. Alcohol was observed in the area where it appeared she had been kept. And also from another article, it appears that she was put in the coal storage area to hide her, but prior to that she was able to stay outside of it, but was still naked and was forced to stay down in that basement. Brown was arrested, but said he would agree to speak about the incident. He said he met Allen on the social media site Kick in a slave domination fetish group. He says he and Allen arranged the pickup on December 13th. Upon picking up Allen, Brown said he gave him her phone and he powered off the phone. He said based on their role play, he kept the phone but let Madeline text her parents the next morning. December 14th, Brown said he took the phone back from Madeline and did not allow her access to her phone again. Brown described in detail the time that Allen was at his home, which included her being tied up while he went to work. Out of respect for the victim and victim's family, we won't disclose the details as they are very graphic. Brown stated that he saw a news report that Allen was reported missing. He says he then proceeded to dispose of her phone in trash can at a local store and tell Allen he sent the phone to Arizona. Allen says she had been in communication with a person named Cowboy on the Kick app. She stated they arranged the pickup on December 13th at Snow College. A man with the description fitting Brown picked her up. Once in the truck, she says Brown took her phone and turned the phone off. Allen said Brown did not allow her access to her phone until the next morning when she was able to text "I love you" to her parents. Allen says Brown made her remove her clothing and did not allow her to put clothes on for the duration of the time she was at his house for the 5-day period. She says she had her wallet with personal information about her and family, including address. She states that Brown threatened her, saying if she left or told anyone about him, he would come after her family and sister. On December 14th, Allen says he realized the situation she was in and began worrying she would not be able to leave. She said Brown always had a large knife on his belt around his waist. She described Brown as being large and could probably overpower her. Allen says that Brown raped her several times daily. She described rape as having sex in which one person wants it, but the other person does not. She said she did not want to have sex with Brown. She describes being choked at least one time by Brown, where he grabbed her around the neck and covered her face and mouth with his hand where she couldn't breathe. Allen states that she would be tied up while Brown went to work. She says out of fear of what Brown would do to her family, she didn't leave. As Brown stated, she and Allen saw her missing person report on the news while sitting next to each other. She says Brown said he mailed her phone to Arizona-Mexico border so nobody could locate her. Allen said at a later time Brown told her the police stopped looking for her. Based on the details described above, police say there is probable cause to believe that Allen was raped, kidnapped, choked, and that Brown attempted to conceal her location and presence from law enforcement. They said there is probable cause to believe that Brown knew she was the subject of a missing person investigation and attempting to hinder the investigation. Wow, so that is absolutely incredible. The situation was as bad as you could possibly imagine, but she survived. Now, I wonder what sort of legal implications there might be if she truly was on a sort of a violent role-playing site and he brought her there, will he try to use an argument that, oh, well, that's what we discussed, so I thought that's what she wanted? I can see that's the angle he's going to be using in this case. So apparently in this house right here, probably if you go around the other side, I doubt it. Yeah, it's not going to be 3D, so you won't be able to see it, but I bet you from the back side, there's some windows that are up high in the basement that you can look down, and one of the officers was able to look inside there and saw the suspect down there, and that's what led to her discovery. I mean, but look how she's just in this little tiny town. This is exactly what you sort of picture a lot of times with these crazy people hiding out in the middle of nowhere in a tiny little towns. Nobody would even suspect it. It's interesting that he allowed her to send a text, or he sent the text, we don't know, but that gave up the location of his town by doing that. It seems like everybody currently knows that a ping of a phone is generated after you send a text message or make a phone call, or even a lot of times just turning on your phone if you have data turned on. All right, so man, that is absolutely insane that she was driven all the way down there from here. I guess what we could do is get directions from Ephraim, Utah to Loa, Utah. And let's see what it says, how long that would take. That says 1 hour and 34 minutes, so that would have put her there 9:22, probably more like 11 o'clock if they just drove straight, but her phone pinged at 12, right around midnight there. So we don't know if they stopped somewhere else first, or maybe they just turned the phone on a little bit later when she got there, maybe to make her feel like she was in control of things. I don't know. I'm just so glad that Maddie Allen made it. We were covering the case. It was pretty obvious that she left with somebody, and we were just hoping that it would be somebody that was nice. And it turns out it wasn't somebody that was nice, that she wanted to be with, but it was a monster. The thing is, she did get into the car with him willingly. You can tell just watching the video that she willingly got into the car, but I think things went south almost the moment she got into that car, and that's why he took her phone so it couldn't be tracked, but then foolishly sent a text message, or let her send a text message. And thank God that a lot of these criminals are some of the dumbest people on the planet. Thank God. All right, everybody. Well, great news, and wow, what a wild ending to that story. Now, if I can get a hold of the actual document, we can go over that. But it turns out, like, it sounds like that she was, sexually assaulted and with an object at some point. I mean, this guy is a freaking barbarian. All right. All right, everybody. Thank you very much. We will see you guys later. And as always, be safe out there.